Right now in Destiny, there is a brand new event going on called Call to Arms. This event is something we haven't seen before, and it accomplishes a number of goals. I would argue that its main function is being a catch-up event to get players prepped for the new expansion coming in a few weeks, but it also has some cool rewards for dedicated players, as well as being a small content drop for everyone near the end of the season. While I could talk about the event itself, my thoughts on it, what's good, what's bad, I actually want to go in a different direction. I want to talk about the design of the Call to Arms event from the perspective of the developers themselves. I think that by looking at the event this way, we could better understand the state of the Destiny dev team and the direction they planned on taking the game, for better or for worse. But before we get too far into the video, I have a quick announcement about our channel partner, Advanced. This week is Creator Support Week. From today until the 23rd, whenever you use my code RZECKI at checkout, not only do you get the same discount you've always gotten on your order, but you also help out the channel a little bit more. You could use the code for anything, including some brand new products coming out this Wednesday, my personal favorite flavor, ice green tea, or of course, the RZECKI Ice Shaker. So don't wait, head over to Advanced using the link in the video description and use code RZECKI at checkout for 10% off your order. The Call to Arms event is, in my opinion, the clearest example of the path that Bungie is attempting to take Destiny down. Call to Arms is not only a nice catch-up event with solid rewards, but it is also the new poster child for the content delivery system of the future. Let's break it down. The event takes advantage of a couple of systems we've seen implemented before. Of course, with any event, we have the vendor in the tower, much like Ava Levante during Holidays or Lord Saladin during Iron Banner. We also have the newer event page that is accessible from the portal. As with any portal menu, the event page is designed in a way to make it easy to understand what the event is, what the activities are, and what the rewards are. We have dailies, weeklies, an event rank system, triumphs for a title, a bunch of featured activities, and some skill-based rewards as well. All of this seems like a lot, but if you take a little bit of a closer look, or you've played the event for longer than an hour, you probably notice that the event is actually kind of shallow. There are only 4 total PvE activities, a single PvP activity as well, which is crazy. There is little variety in the PvE, with Salt Mines being the solo option, Proving Grounds being the fireteam option, the Coil being a longer fireteam option, and Heliostat just being the exotic mission that was already being featured outside of the event. All of these activities are just ones that were already found inside the portal, given a couple new modifiers, and then slapped into the event. Unlike the old holiday events, there are no special limited time modes to play that are unique to this one. Or, if we compare it to an event like Rite of the Nine, there are no new or updated weapons to collect, no special zones to explore, and no meaningful updates to the featured activities. Now, granted, Rite of the Nine was a larger scale event, but it feels like there was very little development effort required to get Call to Arms up and running compared to other events. And believe it or not, I think this is actually intentional design. I'm not here to say Call to Arms is a bad event. In fact, I actually think the event, for what it is actually beneficial to the game. I would instead like to discuss why Call to Arms was designed in such a simple way, and what that means for the future of Destiny events. To get the full picture, we need to step back and look at Bungie as a whole, not just as a Destiny development studio. The Destiny development team is clearly smaller than it's been in the past. Between numerous rounds of layoffs, in addition to the prioritization of Marathon's development, there are fewer devs working on the Destiny team. For Destiny, that means that there needed to be a major shift in the way content is delivered to players. We've already seen how Destiny has shifted to a faster cadence of content releases compared to years prior, but now those same content releases are much smaller than before. We get 2 major expansions per year, which are smaller in scale, as well as numerous smaller updates and events, such as Call to Arms. With the dev team being small, development of the major content releases, such as expansions, must be prioritized. That means that very few people are likely working on event content. The result of that is small-scale events such as Call to Arms that don't need a ton of time in the oven. The event page is a clear example of this. This page is essentially a portal menu where quests, activities, and rewards can be quickly swapped. Graphics, logos, and information text can also be quickly adjusted. For any event, Bungie could just reuse the same event page menu, swap assets around, and have a new event up and running in no time. Of course, there will need to be some work done to generate the content. Weapons can be easily built behind the scenes by a single designer or two, an artist, and maybe a single gameplay engineer if the weapon has a new perk or a new archetype. Reward structure and quests can be done again by a single designer, so on and so forth. And because no new activities need to be created from scratch for the event, since they're all taken from existing portal activities, there doesn't need to be a ton of hands on deck from various departments for creating brand new event activities. As a bit of a personal anecdote, I have been a part of one of these skeleton crews while I was at my last company. As most of our developers were hard at work on the new game coming out, the few remaining, such as myself, on the old game needed to be scrappy to continue to generate content for players. We had plenty of old game modes, menu systems, quest/reward systems, and more in our back pocket that all we had to do is repaint and re-release whenever we needed to. Even as a small team, we could deliver new content at a pretty good pace. And that is exactly what Bungie is doing with Destiny right now. Events are small scale with a simple to replicate format. A small team could take on the task of creating the event, while the majority of the devs focus on the next big target, typically a major expansion. Now, this next section might be a little bit of speculation, but I think the evidence could support it being true. I already mentioned that inside the Destiny team itself, there is likely a divided workforce, the expansion devs and the event devs. But what is also happening is the split between Marathon devs and Destiny devs in the studio as a whole. With Destiny now having the portal as well as a framework in place for any kind of quick content delivery, there could be a future where the Destiny team was cut back even further to bolster the Marathon team instead. So, while the vast majority of the studio is focused on Marathon, a small team could continue to provide content updates to Destiny with less resources. In a world where Marathon is a smashing success, Destiny could continue to be supported even without being the new breadwinner for the company. And this is what I think the original goal for Destiny's future truly was. The Portal's formula was a way to kill two birds with one stone. For players, it simplified the experience of playing Destiny. You could log in, find an activity in the portal to do, and just play. Events can be run at any time with ease, delivering new content to players regularly to keep them engaged. For Bungie, it lessens the number of resources required for development, frees devs to work on other projects, and theoretically keeps Destiny alive with minimal effort. But even without my tinfoil hat on, I think the Call to Arms event is a perfect showcase of what the future of Destiny events looks like. I went on and on about how the portal system helps to empower a smaller team to make meaningful updates, but it's also a highly scalable framework at the same time. With more developer power, an event doesn't have to be small like Call to Arms. You can just as easily add a brand new activity to the list of event activities once it's done being built by a larger team. You could expand the rewards, you could add unique zones to the menu. It's a powerful, scalable framework that gives the developers a ton of freedom in how they create new events. At the end of the day, the portal and its subsequent children, like the event page, are a content delivery framework. It's up to the developers to decide how to use that, whether it's for a large event with many new activities such as Into the Light was, or a smaller event like Call to Arms is currently. Side note, imagine if Into the Light was in one of the brand new event pages instead of being split into 3 or 4 different nodes on the destination screen like it was. That would have been such a great quality of life change. And then imagine having dailies, weeklies, an event rank, and whatever else on top of what we already had that's new to the current event pages. That could be the peak of what the portal's event page is capable of. Maybe one day we'll end up seeing that kind of event. One could only hope. But what do you think? Do you think this is the right direction for the content delivery in Destiny? How are you enjoying the current Call to Arms event? Excited for Renegades? Let me know by commenting something below the video. And if you liked what I had to say, don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel to see more like this in the future. But with all that said, I think that's all I've got for now. As always, I've been Rizeki, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.